Hello everyone, today we are going to do the poem that is The Cold Within from your Treasure Trove book by James Patrick Kinney. Okay, so before starting the poem, let us know about the poet in brief. James Patrick Kinney was an Irish-American poet who was born on March 16, 1923 in Cincinnati, Ohio. And Ohio is a place where the blacks were hated in the 1960s. Okay, Kinney came from a poor Irish family and he was dropped out from school in 10th grade in order to take care of his mother's health. Okay, so maybe because of his because of his economic background, he was also often discriminated in the society. Okay, so maybe because of that, discrimination based on color, class, and religion is the main theme of his poem The Cold Within, written in the 1960s during civil rights movement. And this civil rights movement that we're talking here is the African American civil rights movement. Okay, by then Kinney was outraged by inhuman, discriminatory attitudes at the time and wrote this poem only to bring out the futility of discrimination. The poem is a reminder to overcome our personal demons and to be open to the wisdom of an egalitarian view. And what is an egalitarian view? It is an attitude where everyone is considered equal in worth. Okay, so in this manner, the poet lived according to his ideals depicted in The Cold Within, and he died of an heart attack at the age of 51. And Kinney's inspiring poem, The Cold Within, that is this one, was turned down by several publications for being too controversial. Okay, it was very hard for it to get published. Kinney had also written other poems like A Better World, A Glimpse of Pioneer Ways, My Newfound Friend, To My Children, Who Am I, and The Secret of Life, but never published them. It is his son, that is Timothy Kinney, who is the copyright owner of all his poems. Okay, so that is all about the poet. Okay, so before we start on, let us first know about the title and the poem in brief. Okay, The Cold Within. So what does this title suggest? The cold within. Cold within itself suggests something which lacks warmth and compassion, isn't it? So yes, here as well it suggests the lack of warmth and compassion in the humans and or their relations. Okay, here in this poem we'll see 6 humans who by chance are trapped together in a bitter cold weather. Okay, the place is somewhere out where we see the characters, or in the words of the poet, 6 humans, okay, sitting around a fire, and the fire happens to be dying. Okay, and each one of the human possessed a log of wood. Okay, in the heart of winter, keeping warm is very important, isn't it? So here in the poem as well, the fire was very important for their survival. Whose survival? For those 6 human survival. And it offered them a chance to survive as well by using the respective logs as a fuel to feed it in the dying fire. But none of them uses this stick due to their own reasons like racism, envy, arrogance, revenge, and greed. And ultimately, we see that everyone dies as they refused to shun their prejudices, sealing their own doom. Okay, thus, we can see the appropriateness in the title, as by the end, each of them dies not from the outside cold, but from the cold within. Okay. So, before doing the poem line by line, let us quickly look into the important elements of the poem. Okay, the style and the literary devices that has been used. The poem that is The Cold Within belongs to a category of narrative poem. Okay, a narrative poem is one which tells us a story. And here as well we see the poet recounts a tale he has heard of 6 persons caught in a extreme cold weather, like I told you before. Okay, so here the language used is also very simple. Structure and diction is very much appropriate in order to ensure the message which the poet wants to deliver is not diluted. Alright, and the rhyming scheme of the poem is also very important. Okay, in order to heighten for an easy read. And the poem, that is the cold within, here comprises of 4 lines per stanza with an approximate ABCB rhyming scheme. Okay, as you can see it in the lines below, the second line and the fourth line. The first man held his back, he noticed one was black. Okay, so you can see the rhyming scheme there. And the literary devices which has been used in the poem is, the first one is the alliteration. So what is it? Alliteration is a close repetition of consonant sounds at the beginning of words to facilitate narration, in order to make the narration better. Okay, example, as you can see it there in bleak and bitter cold. For the faces round the fire, like in the first one, BB has been repeated. Okay, and in the next one, 4 of the faces round the fire, the F letter and the F consonant sounds has been repeated. Okay, and this lines has been taken from the poem itself. We'll do it when we do the poem line by line. Okay. Okay, so the next one used is the personification. What is personification? It is a figure of speech in which inanimate objects or abstract ideas are given the qualities of human beings. Okay, and here in this poem, death has been personified in the line, their logs held tight in death's still hands. Okay, how we'll see it when we do the poem line by line. Okay, next one is oxymoron. It is a figure of speech in which apparently contradictory terms appear in conjunction. Example, the last man of this forlorn group. Forlorn means sad and lonely. Okay, and when we are in group, we are not supposed to be lonely, isn't it? So here we see how contradictory terms are put together, and this is said to be an oxymoron. Okay, likewise some other devices are used like metaphors, but we'll see it at last when we finish the poem doing line by line. Okay, so before starting the poem, I would like to tell you another important thing is that in this poem, The Cold Within, James Patrick, that is the poet, does not instruct or gives idea about anything. Okay, he just narrates a simple story, and in each of the stanzas he has given the description about his characters, about 6 humans, but he wants his readers to analyze the characters and draw the conclusion about their characters, and he himself does not give any judgment regarding any of the characters. Okay, so now let us do the poem line by line. Okay, so now the poem The Cold Within by James Patrick Kinney. 6 humans trapped by happenstance in bleak and bitter cold. So as the poem opens, we see a graphic scene of 6 humans trapped by happenstance in a very gloomy and bitter cold. Okay, so firstly let us know the meanings of the words like trapped. Trapped is like a situation in which one is caught against his or her wish. Okay, situation which you cannot escape. Next one is happenstance. Happenstance means something that is happened by chance. Okay, but here it means that the event was not accidental. Okay, it was prearranged. It looked as if it was trapped. That means those 6 humans were trapped, but it was not, as it gives us, that is the readers, a sense that they were supposed to be there at that time. Okay, and the next word is bleak. Bleak means miserable or desolate. Okay, and next thing to be noted here is the poet's use of the word in the first line, humans. Okay, the poet has used the word humans and not people or person. Okay, he has done this as he wants to draw the attention of his readers to the gathering as specific individuals and not as a whole group. Humans here can almost mean as if he is talking about all humans. Okay, because like before we humans, being the member of one race or one particular caste, creed, religion, we are first humans created by our creator. Hence he has also used this word humans and not people or person. Okay, and the next thing to be noted here in the second line is the usage of the literary device, that is alliteration, which we had done earlier. Okay, Here, as you can see it, the underlined letters B and B. In bleak and bitter cold, the letter B has been underlined. Okay, so that means that the literary device alliteration has been used. And what is alliteration? Like I told you before, the close repetition of consonant words at the beginning of words. As you can see it, the repetition of the consonant words, that is B and B in bleak and bitter. Okay, and another thing that is to be noted here also is it also suggests that it also suggests, or something add like a visual imagery in the poem. Okay, that something ominous, okay, something ominous feeling that the reader gets as the poem starts. Okay, so next one, each one possessed a stick of wood. That means each of the 6 human had a stick of wood with them, or so the story is told. So with the last line, we come to know that the poet is telling us a tale or a story he has heard from somewhere else. Okay, might be from someone else. And what is the story about? The story is about 6 humans caught together in grip of a severe winter, where each of them had a single stick of wood with them in order to use it, to save all of them. But as the poem unfolds, we see that none of the humans is willing to give up their log of wood because of their own reasons. We'll see it what reasons. Okay,